When we're talking about bonds, there are several kinds of bonds. Basic bonds that we're talking about are chemical bonds, and that's exactly how the molecules are held together. We have two different types of those kinds of chemical bonds. One would be a molecular bond, which would be, just like an atom of the same type bonding with itself, such as H2, Cl2, or I2. And the other option would be compound bonds, whereas two different types of atoms are actually bonded together to make a compound substance here, H2O, NaCl, HCl, anything like that. Now, to get a little bit more specific into the types of bonds, I want to just compare with you covalent and ionic bonds. Now, the strongest bonds that you're going to get are those ionic bonds. Those are really the strongest ones. And the reason why they're such strong bonds is because there's a very large attraction between the electronegativities of the two elements. For instance, there's a very, very large electronegativity difference between Na and Cl, which creates that really strong ionic bond. And with ionic bonds, this is actually when we see a positive charge meeting the negative charge, creating that strong bond. Now, a little bit of a weaker bond would be a covalent bond, and we have two types of covalent bonds there. One would be a nonpolar covalent, and the other is a polar covalent bond. In the nonpolar covalent bond, we're basically just looking at electrons which are shared equally, whereas a polar covalent bond, there's a little bit stronger of a charge there, electronegativity difference, so the electrons are really not shared too equally. They're really pulled one direction or the other. So in terms of electronegativity, the strongest difference is going to be with the ionic bonds, and then the weakest will be with the nonpolar covalent with the polar in the middle.